Okay, so we're going to talk about Comfrey this morning and how to make a liquid feed to feed your plants over the coming months. Particularly good for feeding your tomatoes as a diluted liquid fertiliser. So Comfrey is in abundance. Many places just now, anywhere it grows. It's a very vigorous plant. This is its first flush of growth. You can see it's just about to start flowering at the moment. Very good for insects, bees love it. I think even ants tend to colonise it. Really high in nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. It's got just about every nutrient that a plant needs, plus a whole load of trace elements. Its roots, they can get down to apparently about 10 foot in the ground. So in the permaculture world, it's known as a dynamic accumulator. So an advantage that this plant has is that the roots go down so deep that it can reach all these trace elements and all the nutrients that other plants can't reach. And it brings them up and accumulates them in these big fat leaves. So the chickens are quite fond of it. You can see that they happily peck at it through the wire. Doesn't seem to cause them any issue. They love it. Other uses for it. Well, it makes a great compost accelerant, so you can pretty much just cut this off at the just down near the roots, chuck it straight on your compost heap. It'll really speed up the activity in your compost heap, as well as adding all these elements back into the compost. So it's great for insects, bees. You can probably get away with cutting and cropping this about 4 times a year. It's a really vigorous grower. It forms a, it's difficult to see here, but it forms a rhizome barrier. So rhizomes are, if you think of rhubarb, it's something similar. So for example, if you were bordering a really wild area and wilderness wanted to encroach, you could try planting a load of comfrey along that border, and it would act as a kind of barrier to other plants trying to creep in. They can easily get up to much higher than this. This is only about a year old, this one. In terms of propagating it, it's very easy to propagate. You basically just dig a bit of root out, chop off a bit about 1 inch long, and stick it in the ground, and it will grow. You could stick it in pots and bring it on that way as well, and then plant it out. But it's so vigorous that if you leave a bit of root fragment in the ground, it will grow quite rapidly from that. Hence, you want to think carefully about where you're going to plant it, because it's very likely that once you've planted it, you're going to have it there forever. You can see some more over here. A patch there just for the chickens to graze on. And we've also tried planting it at the base of the plum tree here. Again, it kind of acts as, you can see quite how vigorous it is there. It acts as a bit of a kind of living mulch, I suppose, and the theory being that it mines those trace elements and nutrients from down deep, and as they flop over around that tree, will decompose and make those nutrients available to the tree. The theory being that because they go down deeper than the tree roots, that they don't interfere or take away from what the tree needs from its roots. Okay, so you can see we've just brutalised that poor plant and just chopped it right off, just about here. That's fine, it'll grow back really quick, and we can probably do that again another 3 times this year. So, to make your liquid fertiliser, take all of the leaves, so one of the reasons this makes a great liquid fertiliser is because it's really rich in potassium. Now, plants use potassium, it helps promote flowering and the setting of fruits, so particularly useful as a tomato feed. So to make the fertiliser, you take your bucket of water and you basically just stick them in. So it's really quite easy. See, these leaves are a bit hairy and they can feel a bit jaggy on the skin, so I would recommend wearing gloves whilst you're working with it. Your hands will probably thank you for it. So once you put them in the bucket, take your brick and just weigh them down. Help keep them under water. Now, it's good if you've got a lid. You can put a lid over it. One of the things that will happen is this will get very smelly as it breaks down and the kind of magic happens in the bucket. Eventually it will become a very dark colour. The darker it is, the stronger it is. So what you can do is as the weeks go on, take, I don't know, for example, an empty plastic milk bottle, and you can just decant the water from it straight into that. But remember, it's a concentrated liquid feed, so you need to dilute it when you go to use it. They recommend probably diluting it 1 part to 10 parts water. So if you had 10 cups of water, 1 cup of liquid feed, mix and dilute. Other things you can add to it, you can add nettles this time of year. They're in abundance. Very high, good rich source of nitrogen and all sorts of stuff in nettles as well. There's other things you can throw in as well, but nettles and comfrey are 2 of the best ones. So we can check back in on this as the weeks go by, see how it's getting on. But yeah, it will get pretty smelly, so if you're doing this near your neighbours, it's a good idea to have a lid on your bucket. Yeah, it probably helps keep children and other animals out of it, and also avoid a bit of evaporation.